What's going on, Legionnaires? This is my list for the top 5 reasons that you should play New World. Let's skip all the small talk and jump right in. Number 1. It's a new game. Alright, all jokes aside, New World is a brand new game from Amazon Game Studios, and they've worked on it for some time. Although the initial review of the game was related quite a lot of hype, the actual game itself is quite enjoyable. It is filled with wonderful amounts of crafting and combat. It seems on the outside that the game is solely centered around PvE, yet there is quite a large amount of PvP as well. It is the PvP side that is most tempting to those players that wish to gain total control of a map and gain access to large-scale battles and provide a more unique experience. The fact that this is a new game in combination with the idea that it is a broad-style gameplay MMO makes for an interesting combination. Number 2, it's American. While everyone in the States has a tendency to chat America any chance that they can get, it is a surprise that a potential large-scale MMO such as this has emerged from anywhere outside of the Korean and Asian MMO areas. These others have a strong sense of monetary advancement, whereas currently New World does not. I'm fine with cosmetics. If someone wants to spend their hard-earned money on something shiny, then by all means, go blow your money, my friend. I'll salute you and your new armor. However, when someone can buy a crate at a chance of a more powerful gear, that rubs me the wrong way. I've had this sort of thing before. Back in my noob days and playing with a girlfriend, we played a game called Mabinagi. It was a quirky little game, and you could do all sorts of things surrounding your character. Until I had purchased a crate and received champion level Knuckles from going and buying the crates from the item shop. Needless to say, it wasn't the best idea, but something like that shouldn't make it unfair to those that just grinded their faces off for 15 hours to get one item. Number 3, changes are coming. This is still a new game, as I said before, thus meaning it will have changes that will be addressed and put more into the game to enlarge the areas and probably add a higher level cap. True, things will get tougher the higher you go and the more items you possess. However, people will get bored of things if they aren't being placed into the game. Right now they release the game in a prime time. It's months before Christmas and have enough time to let the beta players and the new players alike come and become adjusted to the ways of the game itself. However, afterward it may feel stale going around and mining and chopping down everything just to achieve titles and gain experience. I would assume that we will have a DLC like ESO, or there'll be an occasional patch updates to play the game sort of like RuneScape does. I believe within a year though, that New World could start knocking on the doors of the Fallen King World of Warcraft. This being said, many things need to be addressed beforehand for the game to reach those heights. Number 4, there are no mounts currently. Right now there is a huge divide amongst the player base as to whether there should or should not be mounts added into the game. Honestly, I've been on the borderline for a few times because of the long run times. Yet, the more and more I ran around, the more I didn't mind it. Convenience doesn't mean much when people have ways of breaking the lore. It's not like we don't have ways of looking at these analysts' potential annoyances anyway if we're racing 2 resources. If I, as a new player, had no ability to get a mount, and 1145 hops on their steed and races around plucking resources that I couldn't get to yet, then the term get good will be thrown around like crazy. I have another way to combat this, that we can have mounts and not actually have to bring horses into a tournament. However, that video will be for next week. Number 5, the friends. When I first logged onto New World, it made me feel giddy. I had anxiety that we were all rushing around to get resources and try to get ahead of other players. It made me feel like a mad dash to get what you wanted from the game as fast as you could from the first beaches of the game. After a bunch of levels and quests later though, you're ready for your first major dungeon or expedition. You rush over to the area and sit looking for a group the old-fashioned way. No queues or matchmaking for teams, just people jumping into groups and trying to make it work. This gives me a nostalgic feeling that is fleeting for most these days. This makes me miss the days of coming home and typing in chat for groups for us to go hammer out a boss for hours just to try to get massive drops. While this has changed somewhat, it really makes me enjoy the small things that this game provides. Well guys, that's my top 5 reasons that you should play New World. Understand that this is my opinion and not a consolidated idea from multiple people. Those ideas are still just as important, but I believe that we can agree on the same things from different viewpoints. Thanks for making it this far into the video, and I hope to catch you in the next one. See you then, everybody.